Hello, hello, hello. It's Tanya Jones Awalusi coming to you from Butterfly Effect Counseling and Consulting, LLC. Whew, okay. How are y'all doing? I have a hard one, but a good one, but a hard one and a short one. Okay, today we're talking about acceptance. Now, as you see, I'm on the road. I'm accepting the fact that for this past weekend, it was Easter holiday, and I spent time with my family. And so for today's video, we are coming to you straight from the vehicle where I spend a lot of my time commuting back and forth. It is what it is. We're talking about acceptance today. Now, I do not know the original quote, holder of what I'm about to share with you, but someone shared this with me and it almost knocked me over. The spirit was like, boom, there it is. Okay, so let's go there. Before we do that, did you click and subscribe? Click like and subscribe. I really do appreciate those of you who have subscribed. It helps me. I am thankful for doing so. I also have received some good feedback, and I am grateful for that as well. So click like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification button so that you don't miss a thing every time I come across the screen. And I haven't been saying my little motto, but every time the wind blows, subscribe. Now let's get into it. Acceptance. Here's the quote that I would like for you to think about today. It is okay to carry the desire to want things to change and the acceptance that on this side of eternity, they won't change. Let me say that again. It is okay to carry the desire to want things to change and the acceptance that on this side of eternity, they won't change. Ooh, that's tough. That's a tough one. I grew up in a Bible believing church that God can do all things, right? You grow up with the phrases and with the belief, should I say, that, asking ye shall receive, right? But there's another side. There's God's will. There's God's plan for your life. And with that comes this understanding that there are some things that are not a part of his plan. And they just ain't gonna happen. And that's hard to accept. And so in this quote, it's talking about having this desire for change, but also having this acceptance of it not changing all in one space. And wow, I have some things in my life that are not changing. I'm waiting on it. I know I'm usually very open and vulnerable and I disclose. Some things you got to keep close to your chest. And you can't tell all your business. Can't tell YouTube all your business. And this is definitely one of those things. What I can say is I know hurt. I know pain. I know sorrow. I feel those things. I won't say on a daily basis, but I feel those things quite often as I wait for my situation to change. As I pray for my situation to change. And then there's this idea that it's not changing. And I just might have to accept that. What in your life is not changing that you just might need to accept? Maybe it is not his plan. Now, if you know what I mean by his plan, then you're probably a believer. If you do not know what I mean by his plan, is I'm referring to God and what God has planned for your life, what God would love for your life to happen. And I am under the belief and understanding that God's will trumps. I do know, however, that God gives us choice. But I am no stranger that when I pray to him for things that I desire in my heart, that his will be done, right? And so it's tough. How do you carry desire for change and acceptance that it's not in the same space? How do you carry that? That's hard. That's extremely hard to carry. So what does that look like in your life? What are some of the things that you are carrying, the desires of your heart that you are carrying, along with the acceptance that it's not changing? God promises that what he has planned for us is not to hurt us and to prosper us, right? And so how difficult that is when you have life situations. I'm talking about life down to the nitty-gritty life situations that can just derail everything that you've ever known. 2014, 2015, I had cancer on my thyroid. Everything I've ever known changed. God healed me. I know that he healed me. I felt a burning touch 4 weeks in a row as I prayed for it to leave. I got another biopsy, and they said it's not there. I still had to have surgery to remove my thyroid. But and let me go back, because even that, I was like, God, it's not there. You healed me. I felt your touch. I felt the burning touch. And even that, I had to go back to God, like, well, why am I still having this surgery, God? Like, why are they still suggesting that I have this surgery? Like, why, God? And to me, God was saying, yeah, let's get rid of the brokenness, the things that are not functioning. I love when God changes up my stuff right in the middle of me saying something. What's broken in your life that you need to get rid of? Even though God healed me from the sickness, he still wanted me to clean up the mess. That's how God is. My desire definitely was to keep my body whole and intact. But his will was for me to have that thyroid out. That was a part of the plan. I needed that thyroid to come out to be a part of the plan. Do you know how many times I have met people who have thyroid issues? Do you know how many times I've met people who are considering having their thyroid taken out? How many people who have actual thyroid cancer, and are not healed, and have to go through radiation and go through treatment, who have come, even in my practice, who have come across my screen scared to have a thyroid biopsy. I can tell them all about it. That was a part of the plan. I can accept that. Acceptance. What is it that you can carry a desire for things to change, but acceptance that it might not change on this side of eternity? For me, the song Mercy Me, Mercy Me has a song called Even If. And after I heard this quote, I then heard the song Even If. I'm going to put it in the descriptions because I really want you to listen to it. But in this song, it talks about even if, right, there is no change. And it talks about their faith and their hope in God and things like that. But even if, even if, that's tough. It's hard. Holding the desires of your heart in the same space with the acceptance that it's not changing. I so desperately want something to change. I'm sorry if y'all can hear someone calling me in the background. I want something to change with like every being of my soul. And God listens to my prayers. Sometimes I'll pray for stuff and boom, it happens like quick. I'm like, okay, God, I didn't know I had a direct line. But this ain't changing. And it's been years. Years. And I've been praying for years. I don't lose faith. I don't lose hope. I know God can do all things. There is nothing that is impossible for him. Going back, Mercy Me, even if. In the song he says, I know sorrow, I know hurt will all go away if you just say the word. Can you imagine? I can't imagine. I can. God, take away this thyroid cancer. It was gone. But he didn't promise I would get to keep the thyroid. Acceptance. I know sorrow, I know hurt will all go away if you just say the word. Oof. Do you hurt? Do you have sorrow? Do you know that it can go away? I don't want to sit here and act as if God can't do all things. I don't want to sit here and say don't have faith, don't pray, don't be consistent in your requests to God. God says to come to him for everything. He says to come to me, asking ye shall receive. But he also has a plan, and he has a will, the will for your life, and his will be done. Because ultimately, whatever his plan is for us is a good plan. And sometimes that's hard to accept. Especially when you thought you was going in one direction and you end up in a whole nother direction. Well, I just wanted to come on here and encourage you today. And let me just point out here. I'm a therapist. My whole job is to help people change. Okay? But the reality is there are some things that are not going to change on this side of heaven. And so we as humans, as we go about the day-to-day, the mundane day-to-day things, learning to cope with holding those two things in the same space are becoming more and more important. My desires and my acceptance. Thank you for listening. Sorry I'm in my car, but that's my acceptance for today. Take care, and I wish you all well. Bye.